cousins.
Hey guys.
So we're back with episode 5.
Wow.
For the truth about our relationship. In this episode, we're going to be talking about relationship goals. But before we start, make sure you guys
like, comment, and subscribe to this, to us.
And follow us on our social media below. Alright, so if you guys followed us on Instagram, we shared some exciting news. Was it last week?
Yeah, it's been about a week.
Well, tell them what it is.
Okay, guys. So, we are actually in the inaugural, is that the word? Did I say the word? Inaugural YouTube Black Voices.
So, we are super excited about that. So, there is more to come. So I just wanted to share that news before we jump in. So we're going to be talking about like couple goals, like the goals you set with your partner, how important it is to set with your partner, some of the goals that we set and crushed, and some of them that we're working on. So for us, I know, just speaking, following up on YouTube, being a part of YouTube Black was one of our biggest goals.
Yes.
And we hit that accomplishment last year when we were invited to go to the YouTube Black convention, which was completely dope. So that was like one of our goals. Before Jamilla and I moved into this house, we used to have a chalkboard, and on the chalkboard, you know, it was split into half with like YouTube, social media goals that we wanted to make, then also like house goals, and then like job, career, salary goals. Right?
Right.
So I'm big on like write it down, manifest it, and it'll come to life.
So I'm the same way. I get a journal or a planner every year, and I write in it. I try to pick it up throughout the whole year, but definitely heavy in January. But for us, especially YouTube, especially with the YouTube Black Voices, that was like really us being on the platform for 6 years this March. It was really like an accumulation of everything that we've been wanting to do.
Yes.
Do we have the most followers? Are we worried about that? No.
Right.
For us, I feel like we've created such a positive community, and for YouTube to see that and recognize that and then ask for us to be on board with this program is just
amazing. Okay.
Yeah. Also, we've talked about this, probably a reoccurring theme, a couple of episodes, that for me, being a homeowner and providing like a home for my family was a huge goal. So when we moved into the home that we have now, our first home, we knew that was, and I don't like the term starter home, but we knew that was a home that we would eventually grow out of.
Right.
So when we moved into this home, although we're feeling a little tight in this home.
Yeah, I thought this was going to be our forever home. Not going to lie. It will forever be our home. I'm going to say that because I'm never selling this home. Ever, 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 ever. But.
And I don't never say never.
There's different things that I want, you know.
Oh, tell them what you want now. What's your goal
I want
now?
a theater. I want a theater.
Wow.
And Jamil want 3-car garage, low key, and then you want a grand kitchen.
So I want a circular driveway, 3-car garages, and 3-car garage. And also, there's this home that I actually have on my what did I do this year?
A vision board.
I made a vision board, a digital vision board. So I have this home on my vision board, and it's so cute because it has like, honestly, like maybe like a little office off of the kitchen, and it's so cute because it's like you can have like it's just super cute. But I'm happy in this home. Like,
I'm happy too.
I'm satisfied, happy in this home. If we happen to come across a home that has some other things that we want, then we'll make the move.
Yes. And actually, if you guys notice, the wall is different. We are actually in my bay cave. I'm actually redoing this. I don't know if you guys are going to get the vlog. Hopefully, if someone edits it, you should have seen the vlog where I was working on this first, but if not, you'll see it after. And then I'll be doing the final reveal of where I'm at over the next 2 weeks with this. So, like Jamil said, we're happy here, but, you know, ultimately we probably will be moving into something just a little bit bigger, especially as the girls get bigger, and also, you know, their wants and needs become a thing too. Another thing that I wanted to touch on is supporting your partner's goals. because I want to bring up like one of the things that Jamilla had a business venture and I was on board like 100%, but as it got down to the nitty gritty, I felt like my passion was leaving and I knew it was time for me to just step away and be honest about that and just support her through it. But of course it was just too big that she didn't want to do it without me.
So I wanted to have a coffee shop. I was looking at the menus. I was looking at everything I was going to do. We had a location that I was going to be really into it. But if I'm honest with myself, everything would have probably been dependent on the location. Like I wanted a very specific location, and if I couldn't get that location, then I wasn't going to be into the coffee shop. So then that to me was like, well, how much, girl, are you really into it? So Sequina comes to me like I'm like heavy into the coffee shop. I'm like talking to like lenders, like just trying to get more information around like having a brick and mortar, like watching YouTubes. Like when I get into something, I like try to immerse myself into that world to try to understand. We were talking about going to coffee shops and like just on the weekend, everything. So Sequina comes to me and she's just like, I just don't think I want to talk to people every day. And I said, excuse me? And she goes, well, I don't want to talk to people face to face. And so when she told me that, and it was like a couple conversations to like really get to like what was like really holding her back, because I feel like she was being held back. And she said she just didn't want to talk to people face to face, and that is like the definition of a brick and mortar.
Right. So you know, but Jamil, I would support her through that, you know, dream and that goal, but she just decided that that's just not something she wanted to do without me. And I respect it because it is a big thing. It will take a lot of our money, so it was a lot to gamble.
Absolutely.
So we just have some other things like business-wise that, you know, we want to jump into, but of course we just have to get to a point where we're doing a lot more research. So right now, our biggest baby is the Jamilla and Que brand. And then the next up, Harper and Holland, you know, we got them at LLC and we're just trying to work on their brand together just so collectively we can have multiple streams of income within the family. And
Absolutely.
Then Jamil can venture off on her goals that she has on her own, and then some that I have on my own as well.
What goals you got on your own?
Business.
Okay. So really we're just trying to create like a family business, something that we could hopefully in the past, if the girls are interested, pass down to them that they could pick up. But also sometimes it's tough when your partner has goals that maybe you aren't 100% aligned with, right? So I know like with Sequina what happens, and this happens with me too, but she gets really, really, really excited, right? And I think she likes more of like an instant gratification.
Absolutely.
So if it doesn't happen immediate,
over it.
Right. So Sequina should have been very, very, very extremely wealthy, right? Because if you're wealthy, then you can just be like, figure out how I can own this and I'll put my name on it. You know, like that's what she should have been. Whereas me, like, I'm like really into like our, I love our YouTube space. I'm also into our social media space. So I kind of immerse myself into like, well, how do you land partnerships? How do you land sponsorships? What is the conversations around that? What are the contracts? Like I just like get so over involved that I get obsessive that's what, like I'm laying in the bathtub on Clubhouse like listening to this. And you've been really good because lately she's been really getting into it as well. So lately Sequina's really been getting into editing and learning like the backhand of the business. Whereas before she was like, okay, Jamilla, here's a good idea, you run with it. And I couldn't tell her passion, but it was really me comparing how I handle my passion to how she handles her passion, and that might not be a fair comparison.
Right. And yeah, that was just like, I had a stressful job last year, so a lot of things just, my mind and my mental wasn't there. But, you know, having the time off for maternity leave and regrouping and seeing how it was to live as a full-time content creator got me into things. So, like this time I planned our content. I already planned our content out for February. I've edited all of these videos. You know, but Jamil just has a little bit more experience with the sponsorship. So right now that's what she's doing until I finish doing my research on how to play my part in it as well. So I think it's just, if you and your partner like have a goal together, it's good to make sure that the person who has their strong suit is in that suit, and then the other person's not. You just support them and ultimately just try to learn what the other person is doing, just in case roles switch.
But it can be very tough, especially when you are a couple having a business, because one person could want to take the business down one direction, and you may not personally individually agree with that. Thankfully, we've always been on the same page, but I know there it was times where, especially when you were pregnant, you were like, I don't want to record.
Right.
I don't know if I want to do this. And that's why when I got pregnant, she was like, you don't have any choice. There are going to be cameras in your face.
And I regret it. Let me say that. I didn't want to record because, of course, the severity of my pregnancy, but I regret not recording. So let me say that I wish I would have, because that my experience could have very well helped someone else. But
because you were watching other people.
I was watching other people to help me get by, so I wish I would have done that.
Right. And so then that was a time where because I wasn't pregnant, I had never been pregnant, I had to really respect her feelings around that. And I think for me, I've been reading a lot of you guys' comments about our series, and personally, I think the best thing, and I don't know if this is a coping mechanism or not, but I compartmentalize a lot of things, and that's why I'm able to sometimes look at a situation and not take it personally and understand. So at the time, were my feelings hurt that her top of goals weren't content creating? Absolutely, because that was my goal. But I had to understand, like, in another way, that she's going through something she's never been through, that this is her first time going through it, and I personally haven't been through it at all, and I have to trust. I think I'm always a person that I like to let things flow and see how they fall. And things typically follow by flavor, so it's usually pretty good.
So someone asked for the Q&J.
This is the Q&J? Okay. So we got through all of our goals?
Yes. Well, pretty much just, planning with your partner, set goals individually, collectively.
Yeah.
And, just be a support system for each other. And sometimes you got to hold each other accountable for their individual goals and for your couple goals. You got to hold them together, because like today I'm not feeling well, super tired, did not want to record this last video, but we got to get it done, because this is my job. So the Q&J goes right along with this. Someone asked, do we want to do YouTube full-time? We want to be full-time content creators.
Absolutely.
That is the major goal. Right now, we're just not in the place where the content creator space pays us enough to maintain our household, as well as y'all. Both of the babies got to be in daycare. That's $1,800 a month. Okay.
Yeah, and I think at some point it's a balance. I'm so long-winded about everything, but it is a balance, right? It is like to say it like, could we, when we had maybe one baby, have scaled our bills back, stayed in the same house, and maybe lived off of a certain income so that we could be full-time content creators? Absolutely. But we're at a point now where we are living at a certain dollar amount, and we don't want to go below that dollar amount. So we want to act like full-time content creators while we still have our full-time corporate businesses.
Right. And just to be honest, like, what I'm noticing, like, although that's the dream, we also have to rely on brands that want to sponsor us. We also have to rely on YouTube views and ads and stuff to get us paid. So it's not much control. So as much as I want to say, or we could have scaled back, we may have been able to scale back, but the money wasn't there either. Like, the things that we have going on now wasn't available to us years ago. So I think we're in a place now where we're making extra money, which it's needed because we have kids and then we want to travel. So YouTube and the sponsorships that we've been having on Instagram, if you guys haven't, I have a whole saved highlight of sponsorships. You can still go there and like them and look at them and double tap them.
And then sponsorships are also important. Just to touch on your point, is the representation, just to like bring it full circle. Like, we're now getting to a point where, and it could have been because of last summer, it could have been a lot of different factors, where there's more acceptance on LGBTQ plus relationships, especially Black LGBTQ plus relationships. Right. So when we have these sponsorships, and then along with our partnership with YouTube Black Voices, it's companies saying, I see you, I hear you, I understand there's a void, I understand that there may have been partnerships. It may be easier to have partnerships that kind of like look like you, or look like what we think most of America looks like. But now there's a push to bring diversity forward, and we are totally on board and with that, because we want our kids to look at the television and see representations of themselves and of their family.
So, and just to be honest, with any content creator, you can help out yourself, like just by liking those posts, saving those posts. If there's a swipe up, anytime there's a swipe up on any of your people that you follow and you love, especially your cousins, swipe up the link. Even if you're not buying anything, just scroll it down, just because brands look at stuff like that. They look at your impressions, they look at how many times someone swiped up, how many times people are doing the call to action that you're asking them to do. So the more times that people see that you're supporting us, the more opportunities we potentially can have.
And then that's just us helping out and paying for it for everyone, because
Right.
we're giving showing the representation, and then that helps us get another sponsorship and another deal. And not unfortunately, but we have these conversations because with our white counterparts, it's a little bit easier for them to get partnerships, and they get paid in some instances like triple the amount that we do.
Right.
So that's why we have to show up and show that like the black dollar absolutely matters.
Absolutely. And then, like I said, like Jamilla said, we're paving the way. So for other YouTubers that watch us, we're doing this so that way they can create a space for us. So get the goals, write them down. I know we're getting ready to hit February, but it is not too late to start planning.
No, it's not too late at all.
So if you guys want to share any of your goals, we can definitely meet in the comments. And don't forget to submit your Q&Js. And this is the end of the series. I must say, before we go, my favorite episode was My Wife Has Changed, the love language one. What was your favorite?
Really? That was your favorite?
Mm-hmm.
I think the most honest one was the separation and the
Oh my God,
divorce
yes,
one.
that one was crazy.
That was very transparent, because we don't really talk beforehand
Right.
about the topics. Like Sequina would just like, this is what the topic is. Like, so in her head, she already has like an outline of the topic. So she tells me like right before and she presses record.
And we just go with it. Like, y'all, this is not rehearsed. Like, literally, I would show you guys my dry erase board, but it'll just be like, you've changed, and let's discuss this story time, how you feel about change, what you think they should do about change, done. And like, we just freeform it and just go. So go ahead, and I would love to see what y'all favorite episode was. So drop your episode. You guys have been giving us so much feedback about this series, so we are definitely going to keep it rolling. I think next month, since it's February, we'll do something a little bit more fun, but then we'll come back. And then hopefully, like I said, your girl is in charge of editing vlogs. I'm doing sit-down videos. So y'all can at least get a vlog to see the babies, because I know y'all want to see the babies.
Yes, some people have been asking what's going on, where the babies at. They hear y'all.
And then we do need to do some live, so I do want to incorporate a live. So maybe we could do a live Friday.
Okay.
Maybe we could do a Friday night live. So maybe around 8 o'clock we'll do something this Friday. This Friday coming up.
What's the date?
Hold on, y'all. Let me look. Okay, the Friday the 29th at 8 o'clock, we will jump on and do a 15 to 20 minute live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Friday.
Why is there like a minute? Like, why?
Whatever.
15 to 20.
So if you guys have some live comments, oh my God, I know there was one thing I wanted y'all to do. Send us questions. We're gonna do a hair Q&A. So send us any questions that you have, because I want to drop that video. I want to record that. Any questions you have about our locks, our hair, please drop them in the comments so we can do a hair Q&A.
I like that idea.
All right, later.
Later.